Welcome in. It is time to get started with Bollocks this evening. We have a fun show.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this show.
We have a fun show every day.
No, but this one I enjoyed the research more than I normally do.
On dead people?
On people that became famous after their deaths.
I was surprised by some of them, but you know, when we get to it, it's interesting because it makes sense that nobody paid attention to them in their own time.
I thought all of them were famous all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I mean, some of them completely make sense. But we got a great show here, Linda. I mean, you have some fun topics over there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, a couple of scary ones, but yes, absolutely.
And we have some other fun topics. And I'm going to get started with this read. And did I hand you the Bozard read?
You did not.
Oh, my goodness. What did I do with it?
Well, we are in the Bozard Ford studio.
We are in the Bozard Ford studio. I put it away.
I know where I am.
I put it away, and I had the solar stick ready to go. And now I'm back in the microphone, and you guys can hear me. Here we go. Bozard. Sorry, Letty and Bo. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
For over 30 years, Land Title of America has been St. Augustine's trusted name in title insurance and real estate closings. Locally owned by Stephen Collins, this family-run company blends personalized service with cutting-edge technology to ensure smooth, accurate closings. Clothing? You should wear clothing to your closings.
We're wearing clothing today.
Yes, it's good. And we're not closing anything. We're just opening up here. Mm-hmm. No call centers, no hassle, just real people ready to answer your questions and meet you where it's most convenient. Located at 100 South Park Boulevard, or text Stephen directly at 904-501-4481. Land Title of America, your local title company, insurance America's land, one title at a time. And they have a show on our network, don't they?
They do.
So that's very informative. I was reading their notes from yesterday.
Every Wednesday night, they come in right after Bollocks and knock it out. Yeah. The two Collins brothers crush it.
Yeah, I think they might be taking a couple weeks off, but they'll be back after a little vacay.
Yep.
Okay, good.
So, all right. And this company right here, they never take days off. And we're talking about A.D. Davis Construction since 1954. When quality matters, trust A.D. Davis Construction, North Florida's expert in high-end homes, commercial builds, renovations, and historic restorations. With over 71 years of experience, their dedicated team delivers craftsmanship you can count on and relationships built on trust. They don't just build buildings, they build confidence. With integrity, performance, and results that keeps 85% of their clients coming back. From concept to completion, choose A.D. Davis Construction, where your vision meets their legacy of excellence.
Eat, drink, and be Irish at Meehan's Irish Pub and Seafood House, right on the waterfront in downtown St. Augustine. Whether you're craving classic corned beef and cabbage, fresh seafood from the Raw Bar, or our famous bangers and mash. That would be their famous bangers and mash. I don't make bangers and mash. Meehan's as well. I make great mashed potatoes, but I don't make the bangers. Okay.
So you make some mash.
I do.
Okay.
I do. And I like
but
mash.
You don't monster mash.
Only on Halloween.
Okay.
Then I do the mash.
What else do they have there at Meehan's?
They have great Irish cream whiskey that they make, a wonderful Reuben sandwich. They have, actually, their wings are fabulous. It's a 2-day process to make their wings.
Yeah.
So the food there, all the food there is really very, very good.
Their mac and cheese is amazing.
Yep. As are their oysters and their drunken clams.
Yeah.
I like it there.
All right. Well, thank you, Reggie. Appreciate you guys always being there and the entire team, Mike and Steven and all our amazing sponsors. But we also have other ones.
I'm not done yet. There's more information.
I pitched it to you, and damn it, keep up.
Well, you asked me a question. I answered your question. Whether you're craving classic corned beef and cabbage, we got that far. Fresh seafood from the Raw Bar.
Reggie, I'm sorry.
Don't be apologizing. Reggie, it was self-inflicted, man. We got stuck at bangers and mash. Meehan's is where locals and visitors feel right at home, as we do. Grab a pint in our cozy Irish pub, unwind upstairs at Johnny's Oyster Bar with stunning views of the Matanzas River, or kick back in the backyard with tropical vibes and a Caribbean-inspired menu. The pints are cold, the food unforgettable, and the welcome is always warm at Meehan's Irish Pub. Hey, it's the last day of the week.
Give me that.
It's the weekend-ish.
You started ad-libbing, so I went with you.
Okay.
So then we were over with the ad-lib, and then you went back to the read. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hulk Hogan's gone, and this is what happens to the world.
I see the direct relation and correlation there.
All right. Other amazing sponsors that we have, of course, Kaiser's Deli and Market. Our guy Kaiser, he's coming in at some point.
I'm getting closer to narrowing him down to a date.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can get him here. Also, we have the distillery, St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits. A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing, Anastasia Diner, Moultrie Creek Diner, Mr. Electric, Brightway Insurance, the Pirate Museum, Anastasia Construction Group, Solar Stick, Bear Kresge and Associates, The Saint, and Powell Heating and Air.
Hoopla.
Woo!
Okay.
That's a great list right there. All
Good
right.
people.
It's Thursday.
It is.
It is our last
It's the
bollocks
weekend. For the week.
for the week. Not for the year, not for the month, but our last bollocks for the week. And we got to talk. I got Hulk Hogan over here. You got AI hallucinations.
Yep.
And I got grocery stores.
Yeah.
All right.
I like grocery stores.
Which one you want to go with, Blake? Microphone's good.
Yeah, sorry, I was coughing over here. I was like, I was sounding like Lundy after mid read.
Excuse me.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
I got a little phlegmy in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hulk Hogan.
Hulk
Okay.
Hogan, the Hulkster.
Is no more.
He is gone at the age of 71.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was older than that. I don't know why I thought he was older than that.
Well, he's been around a long time.
I mean, I remember him as Thunder Lips. And you remember him as Thunder Lips?
I do not.
Blake?
No.
In Rocky 3.
Oh, I just read that. Yeah, okay.
In Rocky 3, he went in there and he threw Sylvester Stallone around like a rag doll.
Right out of the ring.
Yeah. So, Thunder Lips, we're going to miss you.
Did
And
you
all the
see-
little Hulksters are sad.
Did you see the picture of the two of them from the a still from that movie?
About how he towers over Sylvester? Yeah, I've seen it before.
Hulk Hogan was 6'8",
Yeah.
and Sylvester Stallone wasn't.
He's like 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah, I mean,
right?
he was just peering down on him.
He's
It was-
probably 5'7" now. He used to be 5'8".
yeah, right.
So,
He uses lifts.
yeah. But I liked Hulk when he was bad Hulk. When he was
Well,
in the
yeah.
NWO. You know, and he was just what was his he was no longer there was no longer Hulkamania at that point.
It was
Blake.
Hollywood Hogan.
Hollywood Hogan.
Right, when his rebranding.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I found sad, well, other than the fact that the man passed away and he has family and grandchildren, was the fact that he went from being a face to a heel and back to a face again.
Mhm.
And they turned Andre the Giant, who had been a face forever, into a heel.
Mhm.
I didn't like that. I was a big Andre the Giant fan.
I think the Giant was ready to go, and that's when he, you know, what was it in WrestleMania 3 where the Hulkster picked him up and ripped all the muscles in his back. And that was when the Giant officially handed over wrestling to the Hulkster. I think that was it WrestleMania 3 that took place?
Yeah,
It was the first time the Giant had ever been off his feet.
And he weighed 500 pounds.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry to say I'm breaking a little bit of kayfabe. Andre the Giant has been slammed multiple times, but and that was the first time in WWE.
Okay. Well, they made it sound like it was the first time ever he's been off his feet.
Well,
When I was watching it live, that's what I heard, and that makes it true.
well,
Because it's wrestling.
it's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that might have been because Hogan politics his way to get that storyline in place to make his character look more impressive.
Well, no, yeah. In the Andre the Giant documentary, they talk about him saying that to Hogan, and saying, "All right, you're gonna lift me up at the end."
Okay.
And Hogan was like, "I am." Yeah.
Right.
But he evidently when he did it, he tore muscles in his back lifting Andre the
I
Giant
can
off his feet.
understand that.
But I don't think there's a bigger wrestling star than Hulk Hogan. I mean, Andre the Giant's was around forever.
Yeah,
but I think Hogan is the one that made it mainstream and cool.
Yeah. I don't think Andre the Giant was literally big and very popular, but I don't think he had anywhere near the popularity of Hulk Hogan and what he did for wrestling as far as making it more mainstream and more broad reaching.
Yeah, he was the best on the mic. When they put the mic into his hand, I don't think anybody. It's going to be tough to beat him. Ric Flair, it's still with us. Ric Flair and The Rock is great on the mic. So I mean, there's certain guys. The reason that they're as popular and as famous as they are is because they own their character. Instead of just they bought into their character instead of just getting the character and playing it through.
Yeah.
So.
And he's, and now it's colloquial to call everybody brother nowadays, but Hulk was the first one. All right, brother, I got you. Yeah. He was the first one to go out there and do that years ago.
Yeah. So he's up there with his man, Randy, the Macho
Man Savage.
Yeah.
Okay. So, proud of me that I knew who that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you know what team he played for in baseball, right?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Did you know he was a baseball player?
Randy Macho Man Savage?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He played for the Reds.
Oh, well, there you go. See? Yeah. That's one answer there. It's either Utah or the Cincinnati Reds. All right. Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, but I mean, Blake, see if you can find his baseball card.
I'll definitely try to find it.
All right. But any last words for the Hulkster, Blake? Because you're never a huge. I was really never a huge Hulkster fan.
No.
But I appreciated his crap.
I definitely say being like a young like a young fan, like I only got like the last tail end of like Hogan's career, but by that point, like a lot of like the people like come out and say like how like detrimental he was like to hurt the business to help himself. So like and then obviously you have like your stuff that happened in like 2006, 2008 with his sex tape with Bubba the Love Sponge, Nick. And it's like the family breaking up. Then you have what happened in 2015 with the alleged tape with the alleged comments that he made during the sex tapes as well. So so a lot of fans like do not respect Hogan. Like I would probably say they like they enjoyed the character of Hulk Hogan. They do not like the man Terry Bollea.
Well, and that's a shame because a lot of people prior to him probably did a lot worse. And I'm not sticking up for Hogan in any way, shape, or form, but our society has become so under the microscope. Some of the things that he's getting destroyed on later in life, which he can't even defend himself on in a lot of ways because it's the social thoughts of it. And if he answers, it's like if a guy accuses or someone accuses you of screwing a goat, you go, "I didn't screw that goat." Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Well,
so
and
that's part of the society that we're living in right now. It's everything's under the microscope.
Well, Peter Thiel got his revenge on Gawker, which was the news service that outed him as a homosexual, and Peter Thiel then underwrote Hulk Hogan or Terry Bollea's lawsuit against Gawker for publishing the video of him having an adulterous affair with somebody else's wife. And he won a big settlement on invasion of privacy. Never got. I don't know what the repercussions were for his adultery, but or I guess her adultery because I don't know if he was married at the time.
Yeah, I don't know if he was or not.
He had 3 wives, I think. But it's interesting. But that was Peter Thiel's revenge.
Yeah, I mean these guys are human too. I mean the people that are out there. I mean they have their flaws.
Hey, look, it takes 2 to adulterate. You can't put it all on him or all on her.
Exactly. So rest well, Hulkster, and eat your vitamins.
There you go. Right.
So I mean, a lot of these guys die earlier. I mean, he lived to 71.
He admitted steroid use.
Yeah.
I mean, he admitted he got his physique from steroids. So.
So all right.
And here's Larry Poffo.
Yeah, that is Randy Savage.
I was going to say, what was his given name?
Randy Poffo.
Larry Poffo.
Larry Poffo.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought his name. So his name wasn't even Randy.
No.
Right.
Oh wow. Larry.
Well, Hulk's name wasn't really Hulk.
Yeah.
He was
Well,
Terry.
we knew it was Terry. We knew that one was Terry.
Right, yeah, we knew.
So,
Okay.
Larry Poffo.
See, you learn things on this show regardless of what we're doing here.
Yippers. So baseball didn't work out, but he did okay in the ring.
Yeah, I think so.
And he made a lot of money from Slim Jim. All right, so we have
Slim Jim, the sausage bar?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Slim. He was one of their spokesmen
Okay.
for years.
Okay. I used to like them before I, grew up. But every now and again, I'll reach for one and, kind of hold it in my hand, have a conversation with myself, and then usually put it back. But every now and again, they are just good and greasy.
See, what I do is I usually grab one of those, I grab a cheese stick, then I grab another one, grab another cheese stick, and went dinner.
There you go. Okay.
So that is a coach's dinner right
yeah.
there. Really, if you don't want to do the roller food,
Yeah, okay.
Slim Jims and cheese sticks will get you
That'll
there.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, my snack I had right before I did some redneck sushi. So I took slices of roast beef, rolled around a slice of Worcester cheese, rolled it up, did 2 of those. Redneck sushi.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
I'm with you on that one for sure.
All right, we have AI hallucinations. Very intrigued by that. And I have grocery stores. AI hallucinations and grocery stores. Blake, where are you going?
I'm gonna go with AI.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, the potential panacea for the planet just make shit
Potential
up.
what?
Panacea.
Okay, what the hell's that?
Something
Dennis
wonderful.
Miller.
Something
Dennis Miller
wonderful.
is in the building.
A panacea is
Stop
something.
going full Cornell, Lenny. I keep using those words, and Trump will sue them more.
I don't know that they're going to capitulate. Maybe
Capitulate. Okay, I know
capitulate.
that one.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that happens in wrestling a lot when they get them down there and go, "Are you going to capitulate?" Which means say uncle.
I don't think they say, "Are you going to
Capitulate?
No.
Okay.
But panacea.
Panacea.
Okay, and it means what? It's like the wonder of the world. Panacea.
It's just a panacea is something hopeful and out there. Let's see if I can't not
Blake,
find
did you
it.
know that word?
No.
Okay, all right. I
Really?
didn't want to be alone here. So, panacea.
Mhm.
Okay.
According to the dictionary, it's a remedy for all ills or difficulties,
Okay.
which is what people think AI is.
Well, basically it should be watching bollocks.
Well, that would be helpful. Well, the
Yeah.
people are learning things.
We solve all the world's problems.
We try. We
Yeah.
do try.
Yeah. We create more than we probably solve.
you know,
but, yeah.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, we'd not have no job security.
Yeah. So,
So,
panacea. Can you give us use the sentence again?
people think that artificial intelligence is going to be the panacea that will save the world.
The panacea that'll save the world. Got it.
Okay.
All right.
However, AI just makes shit up.
Well, so do people.
Well, and that's the problem.
Mhm.
It's like it's almost enticing me to go to Wikipedia and just change stuff because apparently you can on Wikipedia.
Mm.
You know, I mean, that's all. That's all.
You have to have somebody else validate it.
Okay. Well,
So-
then that saves me a lot of wasted time.
Yeah.
But it just came out a couple days ago that I think the government's AI is called Elsa. I think it's certainly the one in the FDA, and the FDA just put out a whole bunch of studies, and every time that they put out studies that are generated by AI, people go to look them up and find out that they're made up, they don't exist, they're not real, and AI is just pulling the wool over people's eyes, And the problem with that is because AI models don't have a built-in fact checker. So they're reliant on that. Plus, I believe that AI, reads everything that's out there, but all that stuff is generated by humans. So once it's, and I don't know if it's a multiplying effect that once you get one wrong item in it, that it kind of grows geometrically and that gives you another wrong item and another wrong item. I'm not sure if that's the case, but that's the problem is there's a lot of AI studies out there that don't exist and people are considering them legit. And that gets really sad. So I think I want royalty rights.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I want royalty rights. So it's a little bit frightening because people are now starting to put more and more faith in artificial intelligence.
Yeah, but AI is using the information that we're giving them as human beings, and we're flawed.
Absolutely.
So you can't expect something we made to be flawless.
Right.
So
however,
that's why we have mechanics.
Right. And you know what? And there's a need for that in a different fashion. The president just came out with 3 AI-related executive orders, and it was interesting because he was very very on point with one of them, that they need to expand data centers. I think they're missing the boat on one of them, but it's increasing the training for and supporting the training of electricians and HVAC people, because there's a whole lot of wiring that goes into these data centers, and they need to keep them cool because these things generate so much heat. Yeah. So it's amazing how much heat these supercomputers that need to run AI generate.
Even in our hotels, our computer room has its own identified split system inside that room.
Yeah.
So every hotel we have a room that has all the technologies and the servers and everything, and that room is kept at about 60 to 65 degrees. Yeah. So, so that, like you said, they generate a lot of heat, and that's on a minor scale that I'm talking about.
Well, now maybe this is why the government doesn't want to pursue global warming at all, because once these data centers get up all over the place, and they're building, acre-wise, they're building acres and acres of these data centers to keep up with the demand for artificial intelligence. So you got to keep them cool, but, they probably give off a lot of heat. The issue with that is they also draw it's sort of like Bitcoin mining. They draw a tremendous amount of energy. So you have to,
Bitcoin draws energy?
Bitcoin mining is the biggest.
Bitcoin mining
is the biggest energy draw on the planet right about now.
Okay.
I don't know if that's accurate, but it's pretty damn close.
What the hell is Bitcoin mining?
That's how you get a Bitcoin. Do you think it involves math?
I don't know.
You sit in front of a series of computers.
And people are like, hey, you into Bitcoin? No, I have no freaking clue what Bitcoin is. And until I can actually see and hold it and understand it, I'm not going to be in Bitcoin. So I know I sound like a curmudgeon saying that.
No, it's the Emperor's New Clothes, man. Mm-hmm. There's no there. But what happened was this guy, Satoshi Nakamura, who may be a real person, maybe a Japanese person, maybe a woman, maybe some kid in his mother's basement.
Was that his building in Die Hard?
No, that was Nakatomi.
Oh, Nakatomi.
That was Nakatomi.
Nakatomi, okay.
No. As opposed to Sakatomi.
Yeah, in Nakahoma.
There you go. Oh, he's out now, is he? Yeah, is he back?
No, he's not back. Okay. He's not back.
Yet. There may be demand for him. But the way I understand it, and, don't quote me on this because I'm not positive how this works because it doesn't make sense to me, is that you go and you theoretically mine Bitcoin by solving mathematical equations, which then generate a piece of a Bitcoin, which then goes into some mythical wallet that if you lose, you're screwed and shit out of luck. Mm-hmm. And then that can be transferred into cash money at some point down the line.
All right,
but you got to but it takes a huge amount of computing power to solve these equations.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I've made this much on Bitcoin," but I've never heard anybody retire. I hear about them, mm-hmm. and I read about them on the internet mm-hmm. and on the web. Okay. But I've never actually met anybody who's retired from Bitcoin. I know some people that have had some.
Yeah.
But I don't know anyone who's sold it.
Oh, a lot of people have, and a lot of people made a lot of money.
I know. But who? Do you know him personally?
I've got a friend who's made some good money on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's so popular, how come I don't? I mean, I know quite a few people.
Okay.
But I don't know a single person, that is
that has told you, right? Yes.
That is in my circle that has said,
right?
No, they've told me how much they're making.
Okay.
But they never sell the shit.
Well,
I don't understand the ghostness of Bitcoin, like NFTs or whatever the hell
those are just even weirder.
I don't get it. Yeah. I just don't get it. I mean, like I said, I think I'm a curmudgeon, but I know I'm a curmudgeon, but I just don't get it.
The NFTs make no sense to me because you own a piece of a picture or you own a picture or something of that, and then you do it, but then people can still use the picture. Mm-hmm. So what's the exclusivity of it other than an ownership? But everybody else is looking at the same thing that you seem to own. It's nuts. But I had FOMO. Mm-hmm. I got myself a couple $1,000s worth of Bitcoin. Okay, I didn't know what I was doing, but you can buy it in your portfolio or wherever you're looking. And, you know, it went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. Hi. Like my sports betting? Yeah. Stock picking?
Mhm.
Yeah. It went up. It was about 55,000 and I sold it. And I made a couple $100. Woo!
Hey,
It's now
$100.
118,000.
Mhm.
I would have made a couple $100 more. You know, I could, if I kept it, you know, and it was like, you know, 1/18,000th of a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But I could have made some more money on the deal if I just sat on it. But
Yeah.
I never do. I always sell at the wrong time and buy at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you need investing advice, once again, do the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I love real estate, because there really is no bad time to buy. You know, you got buyer's market, you got seller's market, but even in a seller's market, 9 times out of 10, your property still goes up.
Right.
And you know what? You don't lose it all. It's always there.
Right. Yeah. They're not making more land.
Yeah.
First of all,
It's always there. So, I mean, and you know, that it's just always, I understood it better. So that's the way, I mean, I have my retirement plan,
Mhm.
which is, you know, my pension, which is in, you know, in stocks and stuff like that. But my pension's set. I get what I get,
right.
you know, so it doesn't matter if the stock market goes here or there. That's the number I'm getting. So,
Right, which is good.
Mhm.
You know, as long as they can keep doing that, we're very happy with that.
all right. So the hallucination, so it's bad information in, bad information out.
Right.
And that's,
But then it compounds when when people are starting to rely, especially the federal government and the FDA that's using this for vitamin accuracy and things of that nature, gets a little bit nervous when you're doing this for healthcare. And when they come out with these studies, that people are going, "Oh, look at that study said this," and that study doesn't even exist. So,
yeah. Especially when the information's coming from the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
All right. So
No, it's the federal government.
We got grocery stores.
Yeah. Let's go shopping.
Wait. You thought they were two separate things?
What? The federal
Federal
government?
government and pharmaceutical company. That's
Oh,
cute. That's
I
nice.
know.
Yeah. You know who the biggest lobbyists in the world are? The pharmaceutical
Yeah.
companies. So.
Oh, it wasn't defense contractors?
Yeah. No.
Close second?
They're already in the government. So
There you go. Okay.
that's an
Okay.
inside job if there ever was one.
Yep.
All right, grocery stores. All right, Blake, before you put it up, I want to ask a couple of states, Lenny. We're going to quiz you on your grocery knowledge.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to ask a couple of states. I'm going to hide it from you here.
I'm not wearing my glasses.
What do you think the biggest grocery store in California is?
In California, Albertsons.
All right. Albertsons is not in California. I'll give you one
Excuse
more.
me?
It's not number one in California.
Okay. Albertsons is definitely.
Albertsons is
All right.
number one in
How about
Montana.
How about Vons?
Okay. Albertsons is number one in Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming.
They might have merged with somebody, but all right. What about Vons?
Vons is not it. It is one you definitely have heard of, and it is number one in Utah, California, Oregon, and Washington. This particular store.
Okay. Bobby's going Alpha Beta.
Okay. Yeah, Alphabeta. I'm gonna give it to you, Blake. You already saw it. It's Safeway.
Safeway. Okay.
Safeway is the
Okay.
number one.
I'm more familiar with Vons and Albertsons over in California.
All right. There is one in North Dakota that I've never heard of, and it's called Cash Wise.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of them?
I haven't.
Blake, have you ever heard of them?
No, I've not heard of them.
Okay. So they're the only state they're number one in is in North Dakota.
And you probably only need 6 stores to be number one in North Dakota.
And that's what I was wondering exactly what it was.
No offense, North Dakota.
All right. Blake, what is the number one in Louisiana? Can you read that one?
The number one store in Louisiana? I'm checking. Like Rouse's?
Yeah.
Rosie's?
It's like Rouse's or I'd never heard of that one either.
It's not Piggly Wiggly?
Piggly
No.
Wiggly is in 2 states. It's number one,
Okay.
and it's in Alabama and Mississippi. All
I'll
right.
figure that for sure.
South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida.
Do we even have to say Publix?
Yeah.
Okay. Publix.
I wanted you to get one right.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Appreciate the softball.
The one that controls the most states, and it's in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, Ohio, Illinois, and is that Wisconsin? No, it's Minnesota, Michigan.
And I take it we're not considering Walmart a grocery store.
No.
Okay. Or Target.
Yeah, these are strictly
standalone groceries.
Grocery stores.
Huh. In the Midwest. Maybe it's Kroger.
Kroger's it. Kroger's the biggest one.
There you go.
So they control the most states. I've heard of Giant, but I don't know exactly what Giant is. So you ever heard of Giant grocery stores?
Jewel, Osco. Yeah.
All right. And it starts with the W for the state of New York. What is?
Well, I grew up with Wallbaums, but they're gone.
And I can't really read what this one is either. Blake.
Wegmans.
Wait, that's it. It's Wegmans. That's it.
Yeah.
Is W-Y?
W-E.
W-E.
Yeah.
Okay. Wegman. Okay. And then
Price Chopper kicking around too someplace.
And the only place I ever saw this was in Maine, and that's Market Basket.
Don't know it.
Don't know that one. Food Lion's still hanging on in one state there. That's actually in Virginia. Food Lion's winning in Virginia.
Got any IGA in Henry Curve there? They're small stores in rural areas.
Yeah. Albertsons also won New Mexico.
Okay.
All right. HEB has one state.
Colorado.
Texas.
Okay.
Colorado, another one I didn't know. It's a single one, and it's called King Scoopers.
King Scoopers.
You ever heard of that one?
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
All right. This one, I've never been in one of these. I knew they existed. Hy-Vee.
P-I-E.
Hyvee.
No idea.
Yeah. So I just found it really interesting, like from region to region, the different stores that are out there. Arizona was Fry's.
Okay.
Okay. And I can't tell what the little purple one up there is in Massachusetts. Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all over New York too. They bought out the Wallbaums.
Yeah. So it looks like that's Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island.
What about Pathmark? Pathmark still around?
There's an Acme that I think is in Delaware that won that one.
Okay.
But I don't see. I mean, they might still be around, but they're not the top grocery store in these states.
I don't know. A lot of them have merged and combined. It's interesting. But Price Chopper, which was upstate New York, and I'm sure there's a lot of other places, but they're upstate New York, was the first place that I ever saw a supermarket that had a food court in it, that did pizza and sushi and all sorts of stuff like that in their grocery store. So it was like, and I think some of the Publix have that available now.
I heard the sandwich shop in Walmart here is actually pretty good.
Really?
I haven't been in Walmart in forever, and I was like, "There's a sandwich shop there."
It might be as soon as you walk in the door
right
to the
right.
Yeah.
And it's changed out a bunch.
Yeah.
Also, Albertsons is in Alaska. So Albertsons took home 5 states also.
They do a lot of frozen food in Alaska.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, a lot of frozen food.
Where there's not so much frozen food is a company called Foodland in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
So,
I got to say, Melissa, I would think that Publix here is the winner with Winn-Dixie or Southeast Grocers, the close second.
Publix is the number one grossing business in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it beat out the tech companies. It beat out Disney. It beat out all of those. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of them, first of all, but they're also they're putting the full brick around the pillars in the Anastasia Plaza. They're getting there.
Getting closer.
Getting there.
Getting closer.
We're not quite sure though, because Julie and I went for a long walk today, and we went around and went through that parking lot on our return, and they put in all new light stanchions, which have very small lights at the top, and they're down light, so it's not light pollution. So it's down light, which I think is
it's LED. I'm sure.
I think it's law now. But there's not a whole lot of room for the osprey nests, because if you go to the Winn-Dixie parking lot across the street, there are giant osprey nests on the top of these things.
And ospreys set up their nest in not in dead trees, but in things that aren't living. And eagles always set up in a living tree.
Okay.
when they set it up.
Right.
It's not always alive at the end.
Right.
But when they set it up. So like if you see a nest and it's in a top of a dead tree, more likely that's an osprey.
Yeah. Or on top of a light stanchion.
Yeah, on top of a light stand, like at the ball fields and stuff like that, which was a real problem.
But you do contracting and construction, or you deal with it through the hotels. There were cylindrical styrofoam. They looked like barrels, but they weren't. But they were, I don't know, about 3 feet tall and wrapped around the pole. But they weren't all up at the top, and they were in the middle of the poles, and it was just styrofoam barrels.
Okay.
So I'm in the middle of these light stanchions.
Were they in the parking lots?
Yeah.
Okay, that was more of a safety thing then.
For
if somebody hit it.
okay, well that's what I was thinking originally. But first of all, if somebody hit it, it's styrofoam, so they would crush. And second of all, they're also halfway up the poles.
It would soften the blow in the car.
Okay.
So it's more of a safety feature for the car than the actual for the pole.
So we expected they're going to bring it down at some point in time? Because these were all in the middle of the poles.
They're in the middle of the pole?
They were not ground level.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that was weirder even still. It wasn't ground level. They were hollow.
And
I think that they would collapse. I mean, it would certainly buffer the car, but it wouldn't stop the car.
I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, next time you're over there.
Yeah, because I mean, they do have, and usually they have like a PVC circular thing around it. But you're talking they were midway through the pole. All right, take a picture of it next time.
Okay.
I'd love to see it.
We'll go for a look.
All right, it is time for us to get into our bollocks topic.
Okay.
Are you prepared?
I am. I found the exact same sites that you were working off of, so I got you.
Yeah. Well, I went to a couple different ones, and then I kind of pushed them all together.
All right.
Famous people that became more famous after their death.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ones that I have here, and the reason I wrote him down is because he died so young. And I thought he was an incredible talent. And all his music really shot up the year after he went away. He was still very famous, and I'm talking Kurt Cobain.
Oh, I thought you were talking Richie Valens.
Richie Valens is,
Okay.
but Kurt Cobain. But here's the most famous quote from Kurt Cobain, and this is why I've always loved him, because of this quote: "I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not."
I can dig that.
Yeah.
That makes good sense.
I mean, it's basically selling out because in that industry, you're kind of forced to do things, and he was not the kind of guy who was getting forced to do anything,
which is good.
So that was the only
to his own self be true.
And he was somewhat famous, but he really took off after that. So,
okay.
Who do you have out there? I mean, we got a lot of the same ones.
Well, I was surprised to see Galileo, but I put it in the context of the fact that outside of 200 miles, nobody knew who the hell he was, because how would they know who he was?
Yeah.
Even when the church locked him up under house arrest, that word wasn't being spread around too terribly much, other than people who were supporters of Galileo. So I think some of the older ones make sense in the fact that communication wasn't what it was for people, publishing what it was, that wasn't what it was then and it is today. So I think that makes sense for a lot of these people. I went to look to see if Machiavelli was famous in his time, and probably, in Milan and Florence, he very well may have been. But outside of that, again, it's distance and it's communication.
Yeah. The one I thought was always famous was Vincent van Gogh.
That's the one that surprised me as well.
I thought he was always famous, and what I read, he only sold one painting
while he was alive.
And it was the Red Vineyard. All right. So the paintings, Wheat Fields with Crows, his self-portrait, which is probably one of his most famous ones. I can't
hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, well,
hold on. Let me turn my give you my good ear. Right. Okay.
It was on the other side.
I know.
Cafe Terrence at Night, Sunflowers, The Potato Eaters, and Starry Night. Yeah. The unique thing about Starry Night is they nailed down exactly when he painted it.
Okay.
And what's the Degrassi?
Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Tyson Degrassi.
So he took Starry Night, and they could figure out exactly where the stars were, where he was at, and it was almost exactly dead on.
So Van Gogh is that accurate with his painting of the starscape?
According to Degrassi, it was that accurate.
Wow.
So
That's impressive.
That is absolutely incredible.
That's impressive.
And here's the other thing. Van Gogh, his stuff is all in public domain.
Who?
Van Gogh's stuff. Like it was all a part of public domain. So there wasn't any copies or any of those stuff. Like it was just out there for public domain.
So if we take a picture of Starry Night and make postcards, we can sell them and we don't have to give royalties to.
That's the way I understood that.
Okay.
That's the way I understood that statement.
Okay, interesting.
So
I didn't know that artwork necessarily could be because it's a tangible thing.
yeah,
So you've got a painting. I mean, there's ownership to that. So how can it be in public domain?
It's the only one of the artists that it made that statement on. So I mean, I took it
Okay.
exactly the way you took it.
Okay,
As we can replicate it, and we don't have to write any royalties to anybody.
okay, that's interesting.
So I don't know if this is one article and one thing, but I found that very interesting that they took the time to write that in.
Well, it could be an AI hallucination.
Oh yeah, could be.
So we got to be careful there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, but he was one of the ones that really caught me off guard.
It looked like a bunch of the impressionists were of that same ilk.
Yeah. All right, the two that I felt were probably the most famous after death, but they made the most sense was
I know where you're going first.
Anne Frank.
Makes perfect sense.
All right.
Yeah.
And John Wilkes Booth.
Interesting. Okay.
He was somewhat famous with his acting,
Right.
but
Yeah.
as soon as he shot Lincoln,
Well.
he was known all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one it was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
For all the wrong reasons. So
And the same thing for poor Anne Frank.
Yeah.
She was a child minding her own business, and once that diary came out, everybody around the world knew who she was. Sadly after the fact.
All right, and here's one of I think the most beautiful line that's written in Anne Frank's diary. Despite everything, I believe that people are really good at heart. Here's this girl
Okay.
with her family who's hiding in another family's attic with other families, and she still has the thought process to write that. So that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, well, and that's uplifting. That is the panacea of the human spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That the fact that this young child in those dire straits can still see that there is good in the world or hope for good in the world, and wish that on people that people are basically inherently good.
I think Blake needs some panacea back there.
I know. I think we can get him some.
Yeah,
I found
he's
one
allergic to the microphone.
I found a local relationship here.
I got that one.
Zora Neale Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Impressive.
Yeah. So.
And then John Kennedy Toole, that one makes sense too. This is a guy who wrote A Confederacy of Dunces, was the greatest literary book of the time when he wrote it. Nobody knew who the heck he was or anything about it. He committed suicide and his book went through the roof. Won a Pulitzer Prize after he was dead.
Yep. But with Zora, because of her vernacular, and at the time she was just tore up by the critics. And then when the people went back after she passed,
yep,
and they went for the content instead of looking to attack her, she just absolutely her books flew off the shelves at that point.
Oh, got another good one for you here.
Mm-hmm.
The Man at the Crossroads. Robert Johnson.
Oh yeah. I saw Robert Johnson, but I didn't know enough about his career to actually write it down. And
he was near do well. He made the alleged deal with the devil at the crossroads to learn the guitar and play the blues, and he's
the father of blues,
right?
I mean,
exactly.
But like I said, I didn't know enough really about him to kind of pull me into that. But he's the father of blues. I mean, and
Delta blues, Mississippi blues, the whole thing. Yeah, absolutely.
So, one of the more and Melissa just wrote, was Stetson famous before he died? He probably was more famous because Stetson lived such a long life,
right?
So he got the benefit of people appreciating him, getting past a lot of the prejudice. And him and Zora were writers on the Florida project during the WBA stuff. So Stetson got the benefit of living long enough to get some of the accolades he deserves, and he wrote a book, Grits and Grunts, like at age 91. So, which is really is a lot of his humor, and if you knew Stetson, it was always kind of a little bit of sneaky humor that he'd hit you with.
And it's, I don't know how well his books sold, but his books were, some of them were pretty important. The Klan book was, very important and, dangerous for him.
Well, he had to move to France for 7 years. So, he
ate better.
Yeah. He ate better, and he had, we know of at least 8 wives, and we think he had as many as 11.
Was he a Mormon and simultaneously?
So when he moved, there was, we're not sure the timeline in Stetson lined up always.
We calling him common law?
Yeah, no, we're just not sure that the timelines in Stetson's mind and his relationships always lined up.
Okay.
But his last wife, Sandra, who's still with us today, is an amazing and wonderful woman. She matter of fact, I talked to her on the phone just last week. So she's the one who's kind of carrying Stetson's legacy on and doing a great
along
job.
with you, by the way.
So no, the Stetson Foundation does a really good.
Okay. Did he have children?
He had a son.
Okay.
So yeah, he had a son, and then he had several stepdaughters that grew up at Lake Baluthahatchee in that area. But Stetson had he was a character, man.
I would think if he had
he was a character.
7 to 11 wives.
Yeah. So it was somewhere in that number, and I think one was a duplicate.
Some people go back and try it again.
His stories of Guthrie, Woody, and him, and they were. I think the funniest story he ever told me was they were at Lake Baluthahatchee. They were living in a bus. It wasn't a Greyhound bus, but he told me the name of the bus, and they were basically living in the bus. Him and Woody at the lake there. They were working on the dam, and it was after the Klan Unmasked had come out, and I think at that time they changed the name to the Klan Unmasked. It was originally I Rode with the Klan, and Stetson never said he was the only one who infiltrated the Klan.
Right.
Like he said, it was the story. I wrote the story that way. The other people didn't necessarily want to put their name in, and he took. I
understand that
he took some liberties with that, and he never claimed it was 100% him with his friends. So there was some stuff that he got beat up about, like, oh, it wasn't really him. He was just interviewing people, but he did infiltrate the KKK, and there's pictures of him in the Klan gear and stuff.
It's interesting because you've seen A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you should see it.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot of Woody Guthrie and so much of my retention. The other musician that you just mentioned.
Ramblin' Jack or
no. It was with Woody Guthrie. Who was in the bus with him? Who was the third person?
Oh, no, there wasn't a third person in the bus with them. The bus is where Stetson lived at Lake Baluthahatchee.
Right, but didn't you just mention Guthrie and?
No, it was Woody and Stetson in this particular night, and they always had like little booby traps and stuff set out for if somebody tried to sneak in on the bus, and they heard him coming. So him and Woody, and they've been drinking, so they grabbed like the 22. It's the only weapon he had. He had like a little 22.
It'll slow you down.
And he grabbed that, and they're sitting behind this log, and it's just him and Woody, and they're both pretty sauced, and they started to get the giggles, and the Klansmen are literally like just feet away from him. And Stetson's telling this story. Now he's probably 92 telling me this story, and he's a little guy telling me this story, and he's actually making the shape of like he's holding the gun like this, and the reason they started laughing is when he goes, "Why'd you grab the gun?" He goes, "So I could get him." He goes, "We haven't had bullets for months." And instead of going, "Oh shit," they started laughing, and they couldn't they couldn't really laugh out loud because just around the corner,
right,
it was the Klan who's trying to hang Stetson. But he's sitting there holding this gun.
And bullets from
and the really cool part of it was when we bought Lake Luthatchee as a museum for Stetson. I found a 22, and I don't know if it's the 22 that he had that night, but it was a single bolt action 22, so the age would have been close to being appropriate. And I found it, and it was just stuck in like a little storage area next to the garage. And I just wanted to ask that gun. I was like, "Were you there that night?"
Yeah, right.
I couldn't confirm it.
If the gun can talk.
And Sandra didn't confirm it. And what I loved about Stetson is he wrote his entire book on 3x5 cards, and then he'd map them all together, and he put them all together. And I found the Jim Crow notes in that same storage unit. They were wet, and I had to tear them apart, and I had them laid out all over the conference table at the Parks and Rec, and we were able to get them over to his other collection over at University of Florida. But it was really kind of just peeling into history and like trying to save everything you possibly could, because they got that little bit of moisture on them, so they were kind of sticking together. But I was able, but luckily he had told me how he wrote his books, so I was able to understand what it was. But all the note cards for the Jim Crow diaries was in a little file cabinet next to that 22. So makes for a cool story.
Very much so.
All right.
Well, a part of history.
Yeah, but I think Stetson, his fame did not increase after his death, because a lot of his fame came in his 80s and 90s when he was recognized as the guy who infiltrated the KKK more.
Yeah, I mean, if you and I weren't friends, I would probably know dramatically less about Stetson Kennedy. I mean, you've piqued my interest in a number of ways when we've talked about him and the stories that you tell about him, and the fact that, there's still readings and things down here, and he's still he's a living part of history, even though he's dead.
Yeah.
Well,
and like I've told the story multiple times. Like, one of the coolest moments is when I got to introduce him to George McGovern.
Right.
And I'm sitting between these guys, and I'm thinking I'm all cocky. I'm Parks and Rec director. I'm living the life, and then I'm sitting between the guy who infiltrated the KKK and the guy who introduced the world to the free and reduced lunch.
Right.
Because I mean, McGovern and Dole probably saved more lives than any other politician just with that program. So.
Yeah, it was Pete Seeger who's the other one I was thinking of in the Complete Unknown. It was Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger were together in that movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, and Stetson, Stetson was when he was alive, Arlo's godfather. Mm-hmm. So did I ever tell you the story of the letter? How Stetson and Woody met?
I think so, but tell us again, because everybody else doesn't know.
So Stetson wrote the book, and I think it was Palmetto Country was the book that Woody fell in love with, and he wrote a letter to Stetson on the paper cover, and sent it to Stetson saying, "Hey, I'm coming down to Lake Luthatchee," and so the letter existed, and Stetson, in the letter he said, "Pick me up at the." Whatever the bus station was or whatever. And Woody got there a little bit early. Stetson actually walked right past him. He didn't know exactly what he looked like, because it wasn't like you could check social media and stuff. And luckily they found each other at the bus station. And Stetson gave the cover back to Woody. Mm-hmm. Well, no one knew that Woody had given it to Ramblin' Jack. So Woody had been gone for years and years, and we're talking decades. This thing was missing. They made a copy of it so that Stetson had a copy and he had a copy, but Woody had the original. And Ramblin' Jack played it at our Southern Exposure Festival with Arlo. So Ramblin' Jack brings it. Ramblin' Jack doesn't realize this is lost. He doesn't know that no one knows where it's at. Right. No one's talked to him.
He knew where it was. It wasn't lost to him.
No one ever asked him about this. So in the second one, Arlo comes down, and Woody and Ramblin' Jack are playing there, and we're at the after party, and Stetson brings out the copy and says, "Oh, I wish I knew where the original was." I'll be damned if Ramblin' Jack doesn't pull it out, and Arlo reads it, and there was not a dry eye in there. It was just like, it was just like conjuring up, like Woody set everybody up for what was going to happen, 40 years after his death. Yeah. So it was really, really cool moment. And those guys outdrank the shit out of me. Oof. Yeah. So Arlo and Ramblin' Jack and Stetson.
They were professionals.
So they knew what they were doing.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right. Well, we only got 5 minutes. Who you give one, I give one of another one that caught you off guard that you thought was famous, and knew, everyone knew who they were, but no one really did.
I think the Impressionist painters confused me because they kept having salons. They painted. People knew their work. There were patrons of the arts that were buying their stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess Paul Gauguin, because he was in Tahiti, so nobody knew what the hell he was doing out there. Until his art got back to France. So that was very interesting. But then we talked about, somebody like Herman Melville. Mm-hmm. And this comes back to the fact that he wrote this big ass book about a big ass whale. And, it was in the 1850s.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was mass marketed or mass produced. And, and literacy back then wasn't so great either. So, you've got a big tome about a white whale with, words that I even use. Mm-hmm. And, it makes sense that until it became, required reading in English class, that nobody would know about him.
All right.
And the same thing with Edgar Allan Poe.
Great quote by Herman Melville and one by Gauguin. I really like quotes.
Okay.
I kind of I feel the person through their quotes.
All
right. Herman Melville. It is better to fail in originality than succeed in imitation.
I can respect that for sure.
Goes back to the Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, yeah. Give it a shot, man.
All right. And Paul Gauguin, I know a lot of people like this. I shut my eyes in order to see.
Okay.
I like those two.
Okay.
All right. And another writer, Jane Austen. I just assumed she was very famous the entire time.
Well, again, when did she write? When was she alive?
She couldn't write as a woman.
Okay.
So all her books, when they were released, they didn't have a name on them. So, and it wasn't until after her death that Pride.
Well, that would explain why she didn't have the notoriety in her lifetime if people were reading the book. Yeah. But again, I come back to literacy rates. If you weren't educated, you weren't reading, and if you so. I mean, there's in the 1800s, people were working on survival as much as anything else, unless you were wealthy enough to go to a school and be taught to be literate and read and write. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense.
All right. Johann Bach.
Yeah.
He was just an organist.
Yeah.
All his music and stuff like that became famous
after the fact.
After his death.
Sense.
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah. Well, he was a little bit more contemporary, at least.
He purposely didn't want to be famous.
Right.
He just wanted to do his work and marry a pigeon.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, but at least in his fields he was well known because he kept promulgating his electricity vis-a-vis and his bulbs vis-a-vis Westinghouse and Edison. So and we're also getting to the point where there were newsreels, newspapers, and things of that nature by the time he came around. We don't have anybody on the list that's quasi-contemporary. I mean, Anne Frank was in the 40s, late 30s, I guess.
Well, I have James Dean.
I thought that was interesting, too, because he was a movie star.
Yeah, he was a movie star, but he really didn't hit his fame. Was it Rebel Without a Cause? Mm-hmm. He'd already passed.
Yeah.
And when it hit the theaters, and he's the only person to be dead who was nominated as Best Actor.
Yeah. So now accepting the award.
Yeah. He didn't win. He didn't win.
He didn't win.
So he didn't win. Hey, we've had a good week here.
Yeah.
So we got a good week, and I'm excited for next week. We got some good shows.
Yeah.
And Bollocks and our Bollocks crew out there, some great comments. Appreciate it. You guys always keep us on our toes and keep us engaged. Mm-hmm. Blake, do you have anything to add before we say bye-bye to Bollocks?
No.
All right, he's got the Simpsons over his shoulders. We know what he's been doing the entire show.
Yeah.
So you guys have a great weekend, and we'll be back on Monday with Bollocks this evening.
Have a great weekend. See ya.